Caffeine will make up for lost sleep. While caffeine can temporarily boost alertness, it cannot replace the essential need for restorative sleep. Its mechanism involves blocking adenosine receptors, which signal sleepiness, but once its effects wear off, the body still requires adequate sleep. Relying on caffeine to compensate for sleep deprivation can disrupt natural sleep patterns and lead to long-term sleep issues. Ultimately, nothing can fully substitute for the restorative functions of sleep, and attempting to use caffeine as a replacement can have negative consequences. It's essential to prioritize quality sleep rather than relying on caffeine as a crutch for fatigue. Caffeine detoxes your body. Contrary to popular belief, caffeine does not possess detoxifying properties. The body's natural detoxification processes primarily involve organs like the kidneys, liver, and intestines, which eliminate waste and toxins. While some may believe in detox products or practices, caffeine itself does not contribute to these processes. In fact, attempting to use caffeine as a detoxifier, such as through enemas, can pose significant health risks and should be avoided. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle with proper hydration, nutrition, and regular physical activity supports the body's natural detoxification mechanisms without the need for caffeine-related interventions. Caffeine dehydrates you. While caffeine does have mild diuretic effects, the notion that it significantly dehydrates you is exaggerated. Moderate caffeine consumption typically does not lead to substantial fluid loss, especially considering that many caffeinated beverages are primarily composed of water. While excessive caffeine intake or dehydration from other sources may exacerbate the diuretic effects, moderate consumption within recommended limits is unlikely to cause significant dehydration. However, it's still essential to balance caffeine intake with adequate hydration by consuming water throughout the day. Overall, while caffeine may increase urine output slightly, it does not pose a significant risk of dehydration under normal circumstances. Caffeine is addictive. While caffeine dependence is common, it is not classified as addictive in the same way as substances like nicotine or opioids. Withdrawal symptoms from caffeine, such as headaches or irritability, are generally mild and short-lived compared to those of addictive substances. However, some individuals may develop a habit of relying on caffeine for wakefulness, which can lead to dependence. Despite this, caffeine dependence is typically not as severe or problematic as addiction to other substances, and most people can safely moderate their caffeine intake without significant difficulty. 1 cup of coffee a day is bad for you. Moderation is key when it comes to caffeine consumption, and 1 cup of coffee a day is generally considered safe for most people. The recommended limit for caffeine intake is typically up to 400 milligrams per day, which equates to about 4 8-ounce cups of brewed coffee. However, individual tolerance and sensitivity to caffeine can vary, so it's essential to listen to your body and adjust your intake accordingly. While excessive caffeine consumption can have adverse effects, enjoying 1 cup of coffee a day is unlikely to cause harm for the majority of individuals. You won't be able to sleep if you have caffeine at night. The claim that you won't be able to sleep if you have caffeine at night is an oversimplification and not universally true for everyone. While caffeine can disrupt sleep by increasing alertness and reducing the ability to fall asleep, its effects vary greatly among individuals. Factors such as genetic differences, how quickly a person metabolizes caffeine, tolerance levels, and overall sensitivity to caffeine all play a role. Some people may metabolize caffeine quickly and not experience significant sleep disturbances, even if they consume it in the evening, while others might be more sensitive and find it affects their sleep. Therefore, whether or not caffeine affects sleep depends on the individual. Coffee stunts your growth. There's no scientific evidence to support the notion that coffee consumption stunts growth. While excessive caffeine intake in children or adolescents could potentially interfere with calcium absorption, moderate consumption is unlikely to have a significant impact on growth. Factors like genetics, nutrition, and overall health have a more significant influence on growth than coffee consumption. Dark roast coffee beans have more caffeine. This is a common misconception. Contrary to popular belief, the caffeine content of coffee beans is not determined by the roast level. While dark roast coffee may have a slightly lower caffeine content per bean compared to lighter roasts due to longer roasting times, the difference is minimal. The caffeine content varies more based on factors like bean variety, grind size, and brewing method, rather than the roast level. Coffee causes heart problems. This myth suggests that coffee consumption can lead to heart issues such as heart attacks or arrhythmias. While excessive caffeine intake may temporarily increase heart rate and blood pressure, moderate coffee consumption is generally safe for most individuals. In fact, some studies suggest that moderate coffee consumption may even have cardiovascular benefits, such as reducing the risk of stroke or heart disease. However, those with pre-existing heart conditions should consult their healthcare provider regarding their caffeine intake. Coffee is only a morning drink. Many people believe that coffee is strictly a morning beverage to kickstart the day. While it's true that coffee's caffeine content can provide a morning energy boost, there's no rule against enjoying coffee at any time of the day. Some individuals may prefer a cup of coffee in the afternoon to combat the midday slump, while others may enjoy it as an after-dinner treat. As long as it doesn't interfere with sleep or cause discomfort, there's no harm in enjoying coffee whenever it suits your taste and lifestyle. Coffee stains your teeth. Coffee's reputation for staining teeth is primarily due to its high concentration of compounds known as tannins, which can adhere to the enamel and cause discoloration over time. These tannins, along with other pigments present in coffee, can gradually accumulate on the tooth surface, leading to visible stains. However, the degree of staining varies significantly among individuals and is influenced by factors such as oral hygiene practices, genetic predisposition, and overall dental health. Regular brushing, flossing, and professional dental cleanings can help minimize the buildup of coffee stains and maintain oral health. Using a straw to drink coffee can reduce direct contact between the beverage and the teeth, thereby decreasing the likelihood of staining. Opting for lighter roast coffee varieties or adding milk to your coffee can also help mitigate staining, as darker roasts and black coffee generally contain higher levels of staining compounds. While coffee stains are often superficial and can be addressed with professional teeth whitening treatments, prevention through good oral hygiene practices is key. It's worth noting that other beverages like tea, red wine, and cola can also contribute to tooth staining due to their similar tannin content. Overall, while coffee can potentially stain teeth, maintaining proper dental care and making conscious choices about coffee consumption can help minimize its effects, allowing you to enjoy your favorite beverage without compromising your smile's brightness and health. Decaf coffee is completely caffeine-free. Decaffeinated. Decaf coffee is often perceived as being completely devoid of caffeine, but it does contain trace amounts of the stimulant. The decaffeination process typically removes the majority of caffeine from coffee beans, usually around 97%, but residual amounts may remain. These residual caffeine levels in decaf coffee are generally low enough to be considered negligible for most individuals. However, those who are particularly sensitive to caffeine or strictly avoiding it should be aware of its presence in decaf coffee. Overall, while decaf coffee can be a suitable option for individuals looking to reduce their caffeine intake, it's essential to be mindful of its residual caffeine content, especially for those with caffeine sensitivity or specific dietary restrictions. Coffee is bad for your bones. Coffee is often accused of being bad for your bones due to its caffeine content, which can interfere with calcium absorption. However, numerous studies have shown that moderate coffee consumption does not significantly harm bone health. While excessive intake may pose some risk, particularly for individuals already at risk for osteoporosis, the overall impact of moderate coffee consumption on bone density appears to be negligible. Moreover, coffee contains various beneficial compounds that could potentially counteract any negative effects on bone health. As we finish debunking common coffee myths, it's time to explore another essential topic: sleep myths. Just as understanding the truths about coffee is vital for your daily routine, debunking misconceptions about sleep is crucial for your overall well-being. Check out our next video, where we separate fact from fiction regarding sleep and learn how to improve your rest for a healthier lifestyle.